Hey everyone, welcome to Food Talk Live. A reminder that this episode will also appear on Food Talk's podcast, Food Talk with Danielle Nierenberg. So please subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Today I'm excited to chat with Chris Ferzli, who is the Director of Global Corporate Affairs at Ocean Spray. She leads Ocean Spray's health and wellness programs, public relations and their consumer engagement, executive communications, as well as corporate social responsibility and government affairs teams. I don't know when she sleeps. That seems like a lot of things to cover. She previously worked at the Milken Institute's Center for Public Health, where she fostered strategic partnerships and led programming to elevate sustainable solutions to health crises around the globe. And she was also the strategy director and legal counsel for Michelle Obama's Partnership for a Healthier America, where she worked with corporate leaders, health executives, and health experts, government officials, and celebrities to improve to improve health and wellness in all communities. Chris, thanks so much for joining me today. I know how busy you are doing lots of different things over at Ocean Spray. Before we start, I just want to make sure you and your family are safe and healthy and hunkered down. I know you have family who are in healthcare, and we're all sending them good thoughts.
Thank you for having me, Danny. It's great to be here. We are safe. We are fortunate to be safe. My sister, brother, and dad, who are all in healthcare, are doing well. I'm proud to be helping, and I'm excited to be here with you.
Thanks so much. We're excited to have you. So, the first question is a really simple one. How have Ocean Spray's farmers been affected by COVID-19? And what are you doing to support them? I imagine it's, a stressful time for all farmers across the country right now and across the world, but what are some of the specific things your farmers are facing?
So our farmers currently are planning for harvest season, which is in October. We're in what's called growing season. The biggest problems they're really facing right now is labor shortage. Just being able to have people come onto the farm and work together in close proximity isn't possible. Um, and if that continues into harvest, we will see a much larger problem. Our farmers, though, are resilient, if anything.
Sure.
We are getting calls every day of can we help here and can we help there and what can we do at the moment to
Right.
support those who might already be in their harvest season. And it's been really just touching to we knew they were great. We always know they're great, but just that outpouring of how can we help has been so meaningful for us. In terms of support, we're looking through the CARES Act. We're identifying areas where we might be able to directly support our farmers through that legislation, and we thank the USDA and Sunny Purdue for putting that together. And we are just hoping that by September, October, things have calmed down a bit. Uh, that's where we
Absolutely.
are.
Yeah, fingers crossed, right? So, Ocean Spray, for folks who don't know, is a cooperative, which means it's farmer owned. And, does that make the impact of this crisis different for farmers because it is a cooperative?
So yes, Danny, that's right. We're farmer owned. We were founded in 1930 by three farmers with that idea that working together really will make a better impact, not only for the cooperative, but for getting food to family stables worldwide. Our structure has actually, I'd say, helped us in this time, being
Yeah.
able to come together, that motion of togetherness, and make decisions that are for the best of everyone involved, as well as communities, has been inspiring during this time. Our farmers have been super supportive of our work in the communities, as well as our work for our people. Our motto is people first, and everything else follows.
Can you talk about some of that work that you've been doing in communities that are, I mean, all communities are affected by COVID-19 right now, but there are definitely people who are more impacted than others. And so I'd like you to talk about some of that work if you can.
Sure. So all of our work in the community really stems from the idea of nourishment. We know that a lot of families and children affected during this time normally relied on schools for meals that they otherwise don't have. So we worked with our farmer owners in our regions, as well as key representatives in each of our grower regions, and nonprofits like Feeding America and Second Harvest and Northwest Harvest to donate 100,000 meals to families in those areas. We are also we're working on a partnership with the Red Cross, and what I can say now is blood drives are very important. I know it's the last thing people are
Sure.
thinking of, but we need to make sure that people are still giving blood and being able to so we can be able to take care of the health of those who need it at this time. Um,
Absolutely.
and
And
then
there's a
finally,
safe way to do that, for people who, can give blood and should give blood. There are safe ways to do that. They can go online and look in their community, where that's possible and available.
exactly, exactly. It's safe, it's quick, and the Red Cross is doing a fantastic job of keeping it going during this time, and we look forward to working with them. The meals have been touching. We're hoping to extend that moving forward. We're being fluid there, and our farmers are just so proud to be able to do that.
And so tell me what these meals look like. I'm sure they have some ocean spray products, obviously, but
Actually, no, hopefully they will, but we wanted
uh-huh.
to move quickly and we wanted to just give support to the specific nonprofits in the regions for the meals they
Nice.
were creating. So it varies per region. It is locally sourced where the meals are being created, but they are full meals for families of 4 to 6, including
Amazing.
vegetables as well as items that preserve better, shelf-stable items, and milk and eggs. Yeah, so we will continue our work there. We're
Uh-huh.
hoping that Ocean Spray product is included, but it's not about the products. It's about the people.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. I mean, this is a real opportunity for companies like yours to be able to support people no matter what, and it's great to see that you're doing that. I want to go back to the farmers for a second. So in addition to the labor shortages, they must have other concerns about their health. We know that in this country, farmers are, a lot of farmers are older. They're, in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Are they concerned about, being able not just to do their work, but how this will affect them personally?
I mean, I think all of us are, right? The scary thing here is that you don't know how this will affect you. You just don't know how each person's system will react. That being said, yeah, our farmers are multi-generational. We have farmers going as far back as 8 generations, some of which
Wow.
have 4 generations alive at the current moment. And they're concerned for their families just like everyone else. I would say though, the number one concern is just making sure we keep driving forward and making sure that that food is being put on shelves and making its way to families' tables during this time.
And
Yeah.
I know that the company has increased wages for some workers. Correct me if I'm wrong. Who are stocking shelves or getting product to places. Why was that important to you?
So Ocean Spray, we're a farmer-owned cooperative, and then on our business side, there are corporate employees, and there's also our manufacturing operations employees, literally the people making our food and beverages. They're still going to work day in and day
Yeah.
out through this crisis across the country. And while we know that the work that they're doing is just heroic and essential and priceless, if you will, we increase wages for them, and we just extended it, and we will continue to monitor the situation to make sure that we're doing at least what we can to make them feel supported and make their families feel supported during this time.
Priceless is such a great word to use because they are essential workers. They are on the front lines, like our healthcare workers. Do you think other companies will follow suit? I mean, this is a great example of a company stepping up to the plate in a critical time. Do you think it's something that other companies can learn from?
I hope so. I hope that companies who can do this will do this. I do recognize that some companies are struggling at the moment, and it's such a balance, but in that balance, I urge everyone to continue to put people first. When you do that, hopefully the rest will follow, and that sounds Pollyanna, but it's
No.
important.
Yeah, especially when you're working with, a farmer-owned cooperative, it has to be the people first.
Yeah.
Uh, you've worked on sustainability issues and health issues, really your whole career. Do you think that this crisis is exposing both, sort of chinks in our healthcare system as well as in our food system?
Yes. So the connectivity of our health system and our food system just needs to get stronger generally. You've been saying that for years. You've been saying that for
No,
years.
but you have too.
And I feel like COVID-19 has brought that to light. And I do hope that we learn from this experience and understand the connectivity more of nutrition, of health, and of sustainability. I mean, all three, if we invest in all three, we lift all boats, right? It's so clearly correlated. I do think that focusing on nutrition for prevention will be key.
Sure.
We know that those who are suffering the most from the coronavirus do have pre-existing health conditions, which we all know food can help with in the first place. And I believe that creating access to affordable quality food will be key to improving our health system. And I hope we take that to light moving forward.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think you're absolutely right. It's something that nearly every guest we've had on the live cast since, the virus sort of kept us all hunkered down. That everyone from doctors to farmers to scientists have been saying, if this really makes it clear that health and nutrition and the way we treat the planet are all linked. And if we don't do something now, during this crisis, if this doesn't make it clear, then it will never be clear. I think there's a real sense of urgency now that people feel, and they feel more connected to food than ever, even though they're still panic buying. And folks are very worried about, plants shutting down, processing plants that we've seen this week. I'm wondering, because you've worked, with policymakers and have been part of, a lot of different organizations. What advice do you have for the policy community during this time? I mean, the health connections, and the sustainability connections are one thing, but what can they do immediately and, over the long term to help farmers?
I think public-private partnership will be key, not just for farmers, but for all industries. I think the way that we've worked in silos where policies created here and then it's given to corporate to just put in place is not sustainable. I think working together to create policies that are a win-win for people and planet is necessary, specifically for an understanding that not one size fits all.
Right.
We're seeing these giant policies put in place with this umbrella of agriculture, and there are so many different pieces to agriculture that listening and nuancing a bit more with those public-private partnerships could go a very long way.
I mean, farming is diverse, right? Or it should be. So the policies around it should be diverse as well, and really, get in and help as many farmers as possible, no matter what they're growing or producing.
Exactly, exactly.
I want to talk about sort of, Ocean Spray's commitment to not just farmers, but you mentioned something before that your company has instituted that really spoke to me, because I feel like a lot of people are having, a lot of anxiety right now. I have a lot of anxiety. There's a lot to worry about. We worry about our loved ones who are, in the medical industry. But your company has done something that allows you all to sort of recharge and focus at least a couple of hours a week. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So yesterday, we empowered leaders of our company to trickle down to their teams the idea that you should block at least 1 hour a day during this time to really recharge and refocus. Working from home sounds like it would be easier than working in the office, but it's developed this sort of back-to-back nature, I feel like, across anyone I talk to, and we're really, really pushing that, taking that hour to just recharge, and then one day a week, making sure it's a little longer than an hour, so that you can actually get work done and not just go through meetings all day and then have to do work and then go to bed and just restart it in the morning. And our leaders, our officers are pushing that forward themselves and setting an example to the rest of the organization. You want to feel like it's okay. And when the leaders of the organization are doing it themselves, there's no better way to let people know that it's okay to take some time and recharge and refocus and come back with your best mind. Yeah.
No, it's such good advice, and it's something I want Food Tank to do, I think, every day now. I think it's such a good idea, because we're not getting enough time to just sort of think and breathe and, read articles or do all the other work that, I used to do on planes, or our staff used to do when they had time. We're all so much busier now, and it's kind of a crazy time. So I really like that advice. You've worked in health and wellness for a long time now. What are you doing? I know you're physically distancing with your family in New York. What sort of advice are you giving your friends and your colleagues to stay well during this time?
Um, don't afraid to be a little selfish is the first one. If you don't want to, I mean, everyone's texting and calling and video chatting, and if you want to talk on the phone without a video, that's completely fine. Be a little selfish. Do what you need for you. Get outside whenever it's nice out, at least once a day. Personally, I'm going for a run each day that I can, which I haven't
That's
done
great.
in a very long time. And I'm normally a yoga person, and it's been so refreshing to just get that runner's high. Um, and take always look on the bright side. Yeah, we're stuck at home. Yeah, we aren't seeing each other, but we're building relationships in a different way than we have before, and you can make that meaningful during this time, and make it a positive. So those would be my three
Uh,
pieces.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been saying that I've been talking to people on the phone or doing Zoom calls and seeing people who I haven't seen in years, but who I love and adore. So it's really a time to focus on the folks who are important to you and to, like you said, be a little bit selfish and take care of yourself in whatever way that means. So I appreciate that kind of advice. I want to end on something inspiring. You're working with so many different organizations right now and so many different people. Is there a particular person who's, sort of kept you going that you think of in the back of your head every day who's doing incredible work?
Um, I wouldn't say a particular person, but what I would say is the most inspiring is, yeah, Ocean Spray, we're working, we're donating the meals, we're increasing wages, we've added vacation time, we have the recharge. But across just not my organization, across my friends, everyone, so many people are finding their own individual way to give back. Whether
Yeah.
it's literally driving food from your own pantry to the local food bank, or taking our farmers taking cases of our product that they had just sitting around and bringing it somewhere rather than
That's great.
selling it. Um, or I have some friends who are they're teachers and they're teaching our friends' kids over video so that the parents can have a break and do their own work. And it's just those little moments that people are finding to really give back. Whenever I hear them, it's just motivation to keep going. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's why we do this live cast so that we can hear about all these great stories that are out there. Where can we find out more information about your meal donation program and Ocean Spray in general?
You can go to our website, oceanspray.com, and then go to our purpose part of our website.
Thank you so much. So, oceanspray.com. Thanks so much, Chris, for being with us today. I know how busy you are and how many Zoom calls you have to be on. So, I really appreciate your time and your commitment to really helping people increase their health and wellness during this crisis. I hope everyone will join me again today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time when I'll be interviewing Britt Lundgren from Stonyfield Organic. Thanks to you again, Chris, and all of our viewers and listeners. Please stay safe.
Thank you, Danny. Bye.
Thank you.